You ever had one of those moments where the laughter in a room isn't just laughter? It's a knife, twisted just for you. Let me tell you a story about the night my entire world flipped upside down at my wife's company dinner. Night that started with a joke at my expense, but ended with everyone finding out just who they'd really been laughing at. My name's Jordan Rivers, and for 15 years, I let the world think I was just the quiet, supportive husband. Unemployed? Some said retired early, others whispered, always with a smirk, but what they didn't know, well, they were about to learn. Don't so pull up a chair, pour yourself a drink, and let me take you to the Hilton Ballroom, where it all went down. Act 1. The company dinner. It was one of those nights you secretly dread. If you don't fit the corporate mold, glitzy hotel, tables with sparkling glassware, folks in their finest suits and cocktail dresses. My wife Dana was glowing in an emerald dress, basking in the spotlight of her latest big win at work. Me. I was in the corner, quietly nursing a glass of whiskey, watching the room. I was out of place, sure, but I'd been here before. I knew the drill: smile, shake hands, laugh at the right moments. Then Travis Miller, my wife's coworker and serial loudmouth, found his audience. He swaggered over with a glass of champagne and that fake two-white grin. "So, Jordan," Travis called out, loud enough to draw a crowd, "what's it like being married to our star player? Must be nice having a sugar mama, right?" Laughter bubbled around the table, polite at first, then a little sharper. I felt Dana tense beside me, but when I glanced her way, she was smiling almost as if she was in on the joke. Travis wasn't done. "Come on, buddy. What do you even do all day while Dana's out here crushing it? Play video games, watch Netflix, maybe catch up on some daytime TV." More laughter, louder now. Even the CEO, Arthur Granger, cracked a smile. And then Travis delivered the punchline. "Tell us, man, what's it like being a loser, depending on your wife's paycheck?" And everyone, including my wife, laughed, but not me. Act 2. The reveal now. Here's the thing. I could have let it slide like I always did, but that night, something in me snapped. Maybe it was the years of being underestimated. Maybe it was the way Dana laughed. Maybe I just got tired of being invisible. I turned to the CEO, Arthur Granger, and smiled. "Arthur, can I ask you something?" He blinked, caught off guard. "Oh, sure, Jordan. How does it feel to know that this loser owns 90% of your company?" Dead silence. The laughter died. Faces turned pale. Even Dana's jaw dropped. "What did you just say?" Travis sputtered. "You heard me." I kept my voice calm, but I could feel the room spinning. "Remember Orion Systems, the tech startup that merged with Nextra 15 years ago, right before your quarterly losses would have sunk you? That was me. I still own my shares, 90%, to be exact." Dana's wine glass slipped from her hand, shattering against the floor. The sound echoed through the room. I looked each of them in the eye. "So, Travis, next time you want to joke about someone being a loser, make sure they don't sign your paycheck." And with that, I walked out, left the ballroom in stunned silence behind me. Act 3. The fallout at home. By the time I got home, my phone was buzzing. Non-stop calls from Dana, texts from unknown numbers, emails from the company, but I didn't answer any of them. Not yet. I went straight to my office's space. Dana always joked was my man cave. She had no idea it was where I kept the documents that proved everything. The merger, the blind trust, the shareholder agreements, all of it. A few minutes later, the front door burst open. Dana stormed in, her dress wrinkled, eyes wild. "What the hell do you mean you own the company?" she demanded. I didn't answer right away. I just opened my safe and spread the documents on my desk. "Read," I said quietly. She did. And as she read, her face went from shock to disbelief to something like fear. "All this time, why didn't you tell me?" I looked at her, really looked at her, maybe for the first time in years. "Because I wanted you to love me for who I am, not for what I own. But tonight, when they laughed at me, when you laughed at me, I realized I've been hiding for the wrong reasons." Dana's voice trembled. "I'm sorry, Jordan. I didn't know." "You didn't want to know," I replied, "and neither did any of them." Act 4. Taking control. The next morning, I called Marcus Trent, my old friend and lawyer. "Marcus, it's time. Draft me a full financial audit request. I want an emergency board meeting today." "You sure?" Marcus said, his voice wary. Never been more sure in my life. Emails flew. The corporate grapevine lit up. By noon, Travis Miller had been suspended, pending investigation into contract favoritism. Arthur Granger was calling me every hour, begging to meet. But I wasn't interested in backroom deals or quiet solutions. Not this time. The emergency board meeting was tense. 5 board members, Arthur, and me. Arthur tried to save face, blustering about confusion and misunderstandings. I shut him down. "This isn't about confusion. It's about respect. It's about what you do when you think no one's watching." I laid out the audit: misused expense accounts, nepotism, wasted corporate funds. "Effective immediately," I said. "Arthur, your resignation is accepted. Travis Miller's termination will stand. And Margaret Wu, from engineering, she's your new CEO." Stunned silence. And then, slowly, the room began to nod. Act 5. The new era. Margaret Wu walked into that boardroom in her work clothes. eyes wide with disbelief. Mr. Rivers, are you serious? I smiled. I've watched you for years, Margaret. While others played politics, you did the work. Now it's your turn. With Margaret at the helm, Nextra changed almost overnight. Open door policy. Weekly all promotions based on merit, not golf buddies. Dana took a leave of absence. Needing time to process who she really was, without the corporate ladder propping her up, we started couples counseling. For the first time, we talked about what really mattered. As for me, I stopped hiding, started a foundation for underprivileged kids who wanted to get into engineering, showed up at the office, listened, built relationships, became the leader I'd always wanted to see in the mirror. The laughter from that night became a memory one I wouldn't trade for anything, because it was the moment I remembered who I really was. Outro, the legacy. 3 months later, I stood on stage in the same Hilton ballroom, this time as the guest of honor at Nextra's annual awards dinner. No more laughter at my expense. No more being invisible. I looked out at a room full of people some who'd once mocked me, some who'd ignored me, and many who'd never known my name before. I told them the truth. I used to hide in the shadows, let people underestimate me, let them laugh. But real power, the kind that changes lives, isn't about money. It's about using what you have to lift others up, to build something that lasts, and to never, ever let anyone tell you what you're worth. As the applause echoed through the ballroom, I saw Dana in the crowd. She wasn't in a power suit, just a simple dress, her eyes shining with something new. Respect maybe, or understanding maybe. Our story wasn't over after all. But no matter what happened, I knew one thing for certain. The sweetest revenge isn't getting even. It's building something better than what came before. So to everyone out there who's ever been laughed at, overlooked, underestimated, remember, sometimes the quietest person in the room is the one holding all the cards, and when they finally play their hand, no one will ever laugh at them again. End. Closing thoughts and call to action. If you liked this story, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and let me know in the comments, have you ever been underestimated? What would you do if you held all the cards? Thanks for listening. I'm Jordan Rivers, and this was the night the loser took it all back.